Curtis and Anthony, the Shed Kings, for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio on this wonderful Friday morning. Hope you're having a great day so far. Another beautiful day weather-wise out there. And again, so thankful for all the rain we received. It is such a blessing. Well, this morning in the studio we have another one of our amazing sponsors, Banner Payson Medical Center. And in to share with us more about Banner Payson is CEO Hoyt Scabling. Good morning, Hoyt.
Good morning, Chris. Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're so welcome. And EBS Supervisor Tami Fields and Facilities Manager Joe Harrington. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Hey, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming in. You know, Hoyt, before the program, we were talking a little bit about the Banner team and how you always let people know it's a team effort. It's about the entire team. So it's great to have Tami and Joe in today to talk about one of the most important things, is the people, but also the facilities. And if the facilities are properly maintained, if they're not kept up, if they're not always being improved, then that affects the experience not only for patients, but also for all of the staff.
Absolutely. I'm a fan of cleanliness and order. And these two individuals are two of the best I've ever worked with in 30 years at establishing both. And so we've started with a facility that was aged and wasn't when Banner began managing in 2015. There was some lacking investment, and so Tami and Joe get to help us to fix that, and they're doing a great job in the last years as they've worked with us to make the facilities equal to the caliber of the team inside that are providing high quality care.
Right, that is great. So Joe, again, before the program we were talking a little bit, and when did you start at Banner Payson?
I started February of 2000.
So for those that maybe forgot, I don't know how you could forget, but that was right at the beginning of COVID, wasn't it?
Correct. I started the week of COVID. It was an experience.
Oh, I bet. So now, were you also new to Payson at that time?
I was, yes.
So you were just moving up to Payson, just starting a new job at Banner Payson, and that week, COVID hits.
It did.
Yes. Welcome.
Welcome to
healthcare.
Wow. So was this also your first time in healthcare?
My very first time working in healthcare, correct.
Wow. So what did you do before this?
I retired from Department of Homeland Security. I worked for immigration for 20 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. So then going into facilities management or maintenance, that and COVID hit. So what do you remember? What were like some of the biggest challenges?
Challenges for me were bringing in contractors to help us get some work completed. That was the biggest challenge I had right out of the gate. COVID kind of scared a lot of people. And being in the healthcare side, they were afraid they'd be exposed to things that they actually weren't going to be exposed to. So I could not get contractors to come and assist us with some projects.
Wow. So I would imagine everything since then has kind of been smooth sailing compared to that. I mean, not that you don't have challenges, but I would always, I would be thinking back, well, at least, we don't have COVID going on and we got through that.
Yeah, once COVID was over, it was kind of a breath of fresh air, but we still had challenges with the age of the facility, trying to bring it up to standard, the way we feel the healthcare standard should be. It was very difficult for me and my teams, both of my teams, but we seemed to manage. And with Hoyt's help, to help us get where we need to be, I'm now able to refresh the facility.
Oh, nice.
So
Joe, one of Joe's phrases that I'll always remember him from, he says, "Wait, I can do anything if you can give me the money." And it's expensive, and it's harder now than ever. And Joe's been very resourceful, and we've done a lot of refreshing in ways that are less expensive because of creativity. And Joe's background, he's been fairly humble about his background before healthcare, but he has built many facilities, large-scale facilities. He is used to regulation, and he's also a pretty darn good cook, and he worked professionally as a cook for some time, so he's kind of the mixed bag of wonder.
Oh, got to get in there with Frank, huh, in the kitchen.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. We're gonna have to have a cook-off between these two.
Oh, yeah.
Our culinary service director, Frank Spinos, and
Yeah.
Joe Harrington. It'd be like a great cook-off, you know.
Oh, yeah, like, the reality show.
Beat
or
Bobby
something.
Flay
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah, there you go. Oh, man. So, Tami, you didn't have, I guess, the same kind of like shock when you started at Banner Payson, because you started before COVID?
I started in 2018.
Okay.
I think August 2018.
Okay, so yeah, you were able to probably ease into the position a little bit more than Joe, just kind of like getting hit with something to that extent.
Yes, when I started there, I was an EBS associate, and then I just worked my way up to where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And then when COVID hit, the biggest challenge for me was the daily changes on our cleaning procedures to make sure that it was still safe for people to come into the hospital, like even visitors to come in.
So before you started working at Banner Payson, had you worked for Banner before, or
No.
was this the first time?
This was the first time I've ever done this type of work.
Wow. Yeah, and you've been in it now for a while, so you must
I love
enjoy
it.
You love it?
She's the best I've ever worked with. Tami is everywhere. And not only is she concerned about the job that is technically assigned to her department, she sees something that needs to be done, she will do it herself, and she's a gem. We're glad that she will never leave us.
So how many people are working in the EBS?
We have 10 full-time employees.
10. Yeah, because I'd imagine, oh my goodness, because the hospital is always very, very clean anytime you go in, so to keep it at that level, I mean, just requires, and are the crews around the clock, or how does that work? Do you have people overnight, or just daytime?
So we have people scheduled from 6 in the morning until 10:30 at night.
Gotcha, okay.
And then floor techs work overnights to keep the floors up.
Yeah, no, and I imagine also it's maybe a little different where, everyone that works there probably does their part as well to help out, where it's not like people just throwing things everywhere.
We hope so.
Making it harder, yeah.
We hope so, and we have areas like in your offices, we toss our own trash, just because, we're none of us should be above keeping the campus clean.
Yes.
And that's the rule in my house, and my wife's in charge, so she makes sure that we hang up towels, we sweep the floor, we keep the trash. She's we have a clean home, and that's the expectation we have at the hospital.
You don't leave your dishes in the sink?
Yeah, but if I do, I have to wake up early and put them in the dishwasher quickly. So, but I think the thing that Tami, if I were to brag on Tami and her team, is cleaning a hospital is different. And cleaning a clinic is different. Cleaning an operating room. You want to tell them about a terminal clean, what that term references and why we do it?
So a terminal clean basically means that we do everything from the ceiling down. And anything hanging on the walls, the gurneys get clean top to bottom, the beds get clean top to bottom, including the wheels, including the little break where a lot of foots go to release the brake. In an OR room, terminal clean, it's a hard ceiling in there, so we have to also mop the walls or mop the ceilings.
Gotcha. And that's something I never thought about. I know just in doctors' offices or rooms, exam rooms, everything where the surfaces just have to be able to be wiped down, but then in OR it's even to the ceiling. So ceiling to floor, everything.
Power cords, anything that's in there has to be able to be cleaned. Imagine it's like getting an automobile detailed.
Yeah.
These are the best detailers in the world.
And that's after every surgery.
But we don't, between.
So,
depends on the type.
in between surgeries, we do a turnover clean. So there's just certain things, but at the end of the day, we do end-of-day cleans, which is a terminal clean, so the whole room gets done.
Wow.
But after every patient leaves,
yes,
like when a patient gets discharged, we go in and we terminally clean the whole room.
the whole room. Wow. So yeah, that is just to a much different extent. You have to have people that pay very close attention to detail, very detail oriented.
And we don't just use Pine Sol.
No. We have specific cleaners that we have to use. They all have what we call kill times. So like our disinfectant has a 3-minute kill time, so that means that the surface has to stay wet for 3 minutes. But it's not just about putting the cleaner on there and letting it stay, it's also about elbow grease and friction. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Goodness, wow, yeah.
And so during COVID, we reached a new level of disinfecting, and so what, I think, like you said, anything after that, if there's any benefit from coming out, how do you make lemonade out of that terrible period of time?
Yeah.
I think we're better about everything that we do as an industry. It's not just us, but our standards are very high, and I would say that hospitals are a dangerous place because people that are ill come there. But when it comes to our management of the setting, we're probably one of the safer settings in town in the terms of cleaning. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, yes.
You know, if it's an airborne illness, then that it's hard. We have to use. That's where Joe gets involved. Is maybe tell them a little bit about rooms that have negative and positive pressure and why that matters.
Yes, we just did an update to 2 of our isolation rooms just here in the last 2 weeks, put new exhaust fans in. The reason for that is if you have an infection control issue within a patient and they go to this isolation room, it has to have negative pressure and pump the air out. So it does not get mixed within the hospital or other rooms as well. So we have one in our ICU and one in med surg. That's infection prevention is a huge issue with the medical field, and just in general. So one of my latest projects was to upgrade our exhaust fan system, and along with the HVAC and a lot of other projects within the facility. So
If Joe can spend $1 million really quickly, just one.
Well, like you said, Hoyt, yeah, I can do anything.
you
Just
can.
give me the money.
We've invested. What do you think, Joe? We've been spending. We will have spent $25 million in the last since Joe has arrived, and that was part of the agreement with the Mogollon Health Alliance that was the former owner, which is the predecessor to the MHA Foundation, and that Banner would invest in at least $25 million within so many years, and so it's making a big difference. I told Joe we may have to make a bronze statue of him and put it out in the front courtyard when he's done, because there's almost everything has been touched by him and his team or the contractors that Joe coordinates and hires. Right now, he can tell you a little bit about our parking lot, what's going on. That's probably the big, if I'm a listener, I'm probably, what's going on? Why is the street closed sign blocking the entrance of the regular entry into our parking lot?
yes, right now we are working on a complete refresh of all the parking lot and asphalt around the hospital. New drainage, all underground. We've had issues with a lot of water that comes up from Phoenix Street, and we're at a low point in the neighborhood, so the water just floods into our parking lots. Well, we're going to address that right now. Putting in all new drainage that is directed to the storm drains, all new asphalt, restriping, parking blocks, just to bring the aesthetics of the hospital up as well. And that's one of the many projects we have moving forward for the next 3 years. So we also have the roofing we just did for the admin building, which was needed. We are getting fresh paint on the admin. We'll be doing a lot of work to the main hospital as well. We just replaced our generator, very well needed for emergency power, because we do lose a lot of power up here during monsoon season. We have new landscaping that was just done. I will be continuing with the landscaping around the hospital. We will be doing refreshes on the inside of the hospital, new flooring, paint, remove all the wallpaper, fresh bumpers on the walls, millwork as far as cabinetry, things like that. We will be upgrading all that in the near future here. So I have a lot of work ahead of me. It's fun. It keeps me busy.
Oh, yeah.
But for the listeners, probably one of the impact to you is just watch the signage as you're driving to the campus to direct you to the emergency department. Right now, all visitors are directed to park in the emergency department. That's the patient parking area right now, because he's doing the front circle drive. And so just over the next 3 months?
It's 3 months. There's 3 phases. The first phase is in front of the admin building we're doing now. The second phase will be over in the emergency room parking lot, and the third phase is around the backside of the hospital. So we will have signage for all the patients to keep them safe and direct them to the correct places.
Could you tell the listeners about your project over at 117 East Main Street, the new addition to the medical group?
Yes, we just built onto our Suite A building at 117. We just created a new residents and doctors that will be seeing patients in there. That just completed last week. We're excited for that. We're getting a lot of staff up here. Hoyt's been very generous at getting us staff up here to help us out. This is a good thing. We have that's just one more building for me to maintain, but yeah, overall it's good for us to have.
So we now
expanding.
We now have 11 primary care providers,
Yes.
with one in Pine.
Gotcha.
Tamarector.
Okay.
But we have 10 per primary care providers in that building. We were out of space.
Wow.
So Joe coordinated a shell space building. You see that around those buildings where the Sonora Quest lab is, and where Banner Medical Group primary care, Dr. Scout and Dr. Ball's office is there. One of those shelled buildings, he coordinated getting it connected with the breezeway or a connection, and it's beautiful. So we're trying to grow primary care services. We're very proud of this. 4 years ago, you could wait 4 months before the next available appointment was available.
Wow.
Now you're waiting 2 weeks at the most, usually. Depending on if it's holidays or different things, or if a provider's on vacation. And so we can't do that without
The facilities.
the facilities.
Yeah. Again, if you're just tuning in or just started watching our live stream, we're talking Banner Payson Medical Center and Facilities Manager Joe Harrington, EVS Manager Tami Fields, and CEO Hoyt Scabling in the studio this morning. And yeah, it is great to see just all of the work and all of the investing that has gone into and going into Banner Payson Medical Center, because it benefits the community.
It's fascinating to look back on the history of healthcare in Payson, and particularly on that campus. 1954, the clinic opens. 5 years later, inpatient beds were built. And then every 5 years for a decade and a half or two, they built on, and then ended up getting to 44 beds in that old administration building. Then 1995 was I think it was a $13 million bond, and they built all the new part where we've moved all of our patient care to. So it's an ongoing investment that we stand on the shoulders of 70 years, starting with the Junior Women's Club, and so Joe's building for the next 25 years and the investments. We're most excited about the recent announcement or approval of funding to build out the full cancer center. So behind the hospital, between the church that's near the campus and the hospital, that's where our ambulatory treatment unit is. That's where we deliver chemotherapy. We've moved our wound care into our outpatient imaging center, where the mammography, there's an x-ray there. We've moved that service there, wound care there, to create, as part of this project, preparing to double the size of where we're delivering chemotherapy. We will be able, 18 months to 24 months from now, we'll have radiation oncology. So this is where we can do radiation oncology treatments with a linear accelerator, delivering laser. So just when Joe thought he was getting wrapped up, now he's got a $10 million project to help orchestrate to build that building out. And also within that $10 million is the linear accelerator, is a PET scanner, PET CT scanner. And so just exciting that we have the opportunity to grow for the community, and that's super helpful in light of all of the cuts being made to healthcare. It's good to be in a community where we have opportunity to grow our way through those cuts. Where smaller communities have no growth opportunity, I would hate to be at the helm of one of those ships right now. It's going to be really hard on healthcare.
Yeah, yes, and I think it's great for everyone to hear just about all of the costs associated with running Banner Payson Medical Center, the operating costs, the daily costs, the maintenance costs, but I think it's easy to overlook having to redo the parking lots and just all of the maintenance, drainage, just everything that you're responsible for on the campus, that it's not like the town or the county or there's another agency that is paying for that or taking care of that. It's up to Banner to pay that, and it is expensive. It's very expensive.
You know, one of the consequences of the tariffs, or I'm not making a political statement, just being factual, is that healthcare for the first time is not exempt. Healthcare supplies are not exempt from the tariffs, where all previous tariffs to this point, tariffs didn't impact healthcare. So we're impacted. So when there's a country that's paying a 30% tariff, guess what?
Yeah.
We're paying 30% more for that same supply. So that's unprecedented for us. So we're really struggling from that standpoint. And now with the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that was passed, the impact of that bill annually to us could grow to be as high as $10 million, which is our complete operating margin that we've been trying to build. We lost money in 2021 during the pandemic, and we've worked really hard to grow since. And now it's a good thing we've grown, because otherwise we could have been underwater $10 million. So now it's going to be an interesting path forward, and hopefully things settle out, and there's always, sometimes bills come in to change bills to modify unintended consequences. So, but it is expensive, and it's a unique, it's tumultuous seas right now.
Well, and as you said, and I think you talked about this before on previous programs, other rural hospitals that are just hanging on, So then when they get hit with those increased costs.
Amen. So right now, the National Rural Health Association, I read an article just this last week, 46% of rural hospitals are currently operating in the red. Nearly 800, I think it's 796 rural hospitals are on the verge of closure across the country, which is close to a third, I would say between a quarter and a third. And the average financial operating margin for a critical access hospital, most rural hospitals are designated a critical access hospital, so are we. The operating margin is 2.6%. Well, the resulting Medicaid reimbursement reduction brought about by the bill will reduce overall, it's very complicated, but overall about 21% reduction in Medicaid funding. Well, Medicaid funding is already inadequate, so you lose money when you treat a Medicaid patient. We don't differentiate, we treat them the same, but you get paid less. Now that it's going to be 21% less, and in the end, that reduction will reduce total net revenues on average for a rural hospital 2.6%. So their margin is 2.6%, and you're reducing the Medicaid funding, so it will place more on it. It's going to be fascinating. I imagine there will have to be some compensating legislation once the smoke starts to settle. I don't think that those passing that bill have any intention of closing hospitals across the country, and so it'll be an interesting ride. Kenny Evans once said that it won't be as bad as you think it'll be, but it won't be as good as you hope it'll be. You know, it's going to probably be somewhere in the middle. So to make these types of investments in these tumultuous waters shows you how committed Banner is to Payson. And we're grateful for that, and we plan to be here a long time. We're not going anywhere.
Well, and it's good that, I mean, this has been planned for a while, and instead of like looking at that saying, oh, we better not, we can't, to continue to move forward. And, knowing that it'll work out. You'll have to figure it out, but it'll work out. And I think a lot of that is because of the support of the community, support of Banner, just a great job that the Banner team, Banner Payson team does. And it shows.
An example of the team is Joe and Tami. They're two of the most dedicated employees I've ever seen. Joe will come in the middle of the night and he checks the light bulbs in the parking lot and checks out different things. And Tami, I would work for Tami or Joe. They can do what they manage. Do you know what I mean? I can't. So, just so you know, I'm the least valuable member of the team.
Cat's out of the bag.
I can vacuum and I can sweep, but I can't thermal in the room. But I
Yeah.
think it is about who we hire.
Mhm.
We won the Banner's Best of the Best Award
Mm.
for 2024, so,
Wow.
and we're really excited about that. And it's because of there's nearly 300 employees on the campus at any given time, and volunteers and medical staff.
Mhm.
Collectively, we're doing some pretty amazing things, pretty excited about it. I wanted to ask Tami, we often have openings in Tami's department. Could you make a plea, if there's a listener out there that's, maybe they're mid-career, maybe they're like you, make a change in a career and try something new, what would you tell them to entice them to consider coming to work for you?
It's fun. It's like, it's not the same thing every day.
Mhm.
There's always something interesting happening.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it is fun. She's one of the most, she was the Easter bunny for us during the,
Oh,
she came around with baskets, and
I
she
have
knows how to
Easter ears.
hide eggs. She's probably still finding them from her hiding, so. We do pay a minimum wage of, Banner has established its own minimum wage of $15 an hour,
Uh-huh.
and we have good benefits, paid
Yeah,
time
the
off.
benefits are really good. the
And
paid
can they
time off.
train on the job?
Yes, I will
Mhm.
train them.
And Tammy's, not only is she trained from ground zero up, but she's now an expert.
Yeah.
And so if there is someone out there listening who really wants a stable career that they could do the rest of their lives,
Mhm.
this work is, it's hard work, but
Mhm.
it's not to the point where you can't do it.
Mhm.
If you can be taught and follow directions, you can become an expert,
Mhm.
and you'll be valued. Our team, I feel like our team treats our EVS techs as experts, and we're really grateful for them. And
Mhm.
if there's someone listening, this is a job doesn't require, you have to have a high school diploma
Mhm.
or a GED, and, but other than that, just gotta be able to smile, be
Mhm.
friendly,
Mhm.
and be detailed. Have a little elbow grease using
Yes.
that technical
Yeah.
term.
Well, I think what is evident is support that is given to all of the departments, to everyone working for Banner Payson Medical Center. They have support and shown appreciation. And those are two very important things. If you don't feel supported as an employee, whatever your job is, or appreciated, it's very hard to continue to come to work and do your job. So that is something I think from all throughout the organization, throughout the entire organization at Banner, is support given, appreciation, and an understanding that everyone's role is important. That it isn't like low, top, this, that. It's, hey, we're all a team, everyone's important.
I agree.
And it's shown. It's, told, shown, demonstrated, and that's important.
I agree.
So I think that's a big selling point for anyone, looking for something different. If you don't feel that at your current job, that's something that makes a big difference.
You will be valued, and you will know what's going on. We're doing our employee town halls. I do 13 town halls, and everyone on Joe's team and Tammy's team come, and we talk about the whole operation. We talk about what's going on with the bills and how we function and how we work together. So you feel part of something that is meaningful and makes a difference. I can't help but say that it's hard for me not to have favorites because my grandmother was a housekeeper in a hospital for 42 years. And so she cleaned and she knew how to do all these things. I don't know that we're as advanced as we are today, but there's no job that is less valuable. The surgeon during surgery is in charge of all in that room, but everyone in that room is equally valued.
Yep.
Joe, anything in conclusion from your standpoint? What are you looking forward to most, or what does the listeners have to, what do you foresee in the next 3 years with these projects? Anything that you would say to the listener?
Well, my goal is, when I first came to Payson, seeing the age of the facility, there was obviously some issues. My main goal is, within the next 3, to make Banner Payson the standard for all rural hospitals. Bring it up to speed. I want to make a gorgeous hospital for patients, its safety of patients, including staff as well. That's my main goal. So I'm trying to put the money in the right places. When I'm done in 3 years, it's going to be a complete different hospital. So.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, and again, to the benefit of everyone in the community.
And that's
Yes.
the goal. And to build on the legacy of those less than 30 young women, ages 18 to 30, who said in their motto, "We will find a way." Our children deserve to have a physician in this community That was their whole purpose. They set out to recruit a doctor, and then they realized, oh, we have to have a clinic to be able to recruit a doctor. And so then they were like, we'll find a way. And they did, and they raised the money, and that was generous people, and in 1954, they opened that clinic right there on Ponderosa Street. And we stand on their shoulders.
Well, that is great. Well, thank you so much, Joe, Tami, Hoyt, for coming in this morning and sharing, and just want to thank everyone listening and watching. Also, want to thank the Shed Kings, Curtis and Anthony, for sponsoring our Community Spotlight program. Now it's time to get back to the music here on KRIM, but first, gonna hear from the Shed Kings, and then an update from the National Weather Service, and then music from ZZ Top, Supertramp, Verve Pipe, and more. Hope you guys have a beautiful Friday and a great weekend. Enjoy. See you next time.
The KRIM Community Spotlight Program.
Welcome to Shed Kings, offering 2 convenient locations in Star Valley and Overgard, Arizona.
Hey there, I'm Curtis. And I'm Anthony. And we're the Shed Kings, home of the rent-to-own, no credit check program.
We offer barns, sheds, garages, cabins, and steel buildings, all built to last. Proudly representing Graceland Portable Buildings, industry leaders for over 20 years. Need something larger? We also represent American Steel Buildings for unmatched durability and the best warranties in the business. Quality matters. If there was a better constructed building on the market, we would be selling it.
Shed Kings made it so easy. The quality's unbeatable. I loved it so much, I joined the team.
Enjoy enhanced floor and wall durability, optimized fasteners, and budget-friendly options. Choose from a wide variety of styles and colors to fit your needs. Graceland Portable Buildings has the highest customer quality ratings year after year.
So come see us in person and experience the Shed Kings difference, because we have the shed you've been looking for. If not, we can build it. Call or visit us to get started.